Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So glad to have you here today. As you can tell from the title, today is not a normal show, not a normal chill sesh. Today I'm doing another installment of my series that I'm calling Stumped, a series that I have started to potentially, I hope, help other people who may be experiencing limb loss, or maybe a family member of somebody who's experiencing limb loss, or if people are just curious about it. This is my second interview on my channel, where I'm interviewing an amputee about their specific journey, their unique circumstances, and I hope that it resonates with somebody out there. And as always, I want to thank everybody for being here. So let me take a look at the chat here. John, good to see you. Hey, Mel. Hey, Jerry, good to see you too. We got Joe. We got Niels. Got Captain Spaulding. Craig. Cheesehead. James. Panka. So good to see everybody. Grateful Life, good to see you too. Hey, Holy. And as always, have my wonderful husband in here modding for me. Thanks, babe. So yeah, currently we are waiting on Shannon. I don't know if she got caught up doing something. I'm sure she'll be here shortly. But in the meantime, I guess, oh, there she is. She just popped up. If you're ready, I'm going to bring you to the stage, okay?
Hi, Amy. How is everybody tonight?
Welcome in, Shannon. Thank you for being here.
Hey, thanks for having me.
I love your hat.
Oh, I wasn't gonna wear it, but seems to be my signature hat when I'm online. If I don't wear it, people get pissed.
I love it so much. Which it's so good to see your face, by the way. I know you usually don't go on cam, so I'm very honored that you are. But at the same time, don't feel pressured that you have to stay on cam or anything. If you want to go avatar, that's totally fine too.
Well, I figured this is a pretty personal interview, so people should at least be able to see my face so they know I'm online.
Yeah, fair enough. Totally your call. But yeah, I'm so glad that you're doing this with me, because as I've told you before, like it means so much to me to get this kind of information out there, because I spoke to Harley about this before, but like when we found out that we were losing our limbs, one of the first things we did was go to YouTube, because we wanted to see, what other people had been through and what their story was, and what we could maybe expect, that kind of thing. And I really only found one person. I'm sure you've seen her, Footless Joe.
Yes.
But other than her, there's not a whole lot of people out there. So yeah, I wanted to create a channel and use this platform to spread awareness and help people share their stories.
Yes, and I mean, like, that's the whole thing. I mean, like, I'm a nobody. I mean, honestly, I'm just a dork in Northern California, an older lady. But like, if this is something that you want to do with your channel and you want to bring awareness to this, if my story in any way, shape, or form can help somebody else, then I'm down for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Thank you, Acid. I appreciate it. I really can't see the chat well, you guys. So whoever is in there, let me say hi. Just want to say hi to all of you. Hi, Mel. Hi, John. Hi, Scotto. How's it going, Yeti? Dozer, nice to see you. You're too kind, Acid.
Oh, hey, Dozer.
Joe Cat. Hello. And by the way, before we start this wonderful interview, this wonderful, serious interview with Amy, I just want to say my Niners kicked ass. Hello.
Yeah, Harley Dad was very happy about that too.
I bet he is. Where is Harley?
I'm sure he'll be in the chat here shortly.
In fact, I need to try to turn this chat on my computer so I can actually see what they're saying in chat. So I'm just not on my phone.
Oh,
So,
hey, Wendy. So good to see you.
hey, Wendy, I haven't seen you in a long time. It's great to see you. How have you been, Wendy? So, what's been your hardest experience, Amy, losing your leg? Honestly.
Um, I think honestly, the hardest part for me was just getting through the surgery because, like, I was in a new country and it was during lockdown. So, like, I was away from everyone I've ever known. And, like, Dan wasn't even allowed in the hospital for a lot of it. So, yeah, that was probably the roughest part of it for me. The rest of it, I've pun intended, I guess I've been taking it all in stride though.
Nah. Right. You know, the
uh,
hardest part for me wasn't losing the leg because, unlike you and Harley, I wasn't told ahead of time. I was not told that it was going to be done. I got
oh
really
wow, yeah.
sick and I got really septic, and I basically it was a life or death situation. So it was,
Mm-hmm.
I woke up and I had no leg, and I had to deal with that part myself. And at first, I think I was in shock. I think most people are when you lost a major part of your body. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So I didn't really think about it too much. I addressed it like an injury, and I was in so much pain from the surgery. I really didn't have time to think about the consequences of, you know, what my life would be after losing my limb. Not
Right.
just on a physical level, but on an emotional level, on a level with my relationships with people.
Mm-hmm.
I no longer, okay, so from once I was the matriarch of my family, one of the leaders in my job description, people thought I would be so competent. All of a sudden, I lose my leg and I'm a victim now. I'm
Mm.
handicapped, right?
Yeah.
And at
Right.
44 years old, I had become handicapped, which
Mm-hmm.
even now I can't even get through my head. I'm handicapped, me? Pfft, handicapped, please. But, you know, I mean, it's the truth. And one of those moments for me where I had to actually look at the fact that my life was going to be changed indefinitely was when I went on a trip. I went on a trip to go meet up with somebody, and they were a lot faster than me, and I had to
Mm-hmm.
make exceptions for myself. And in my head, I can do anything. I'm fucking superwoman in my head, okay? But
Right.
in reality, that just isn't the case. You know, having a prosthetic means you walk differently, you're slower,
Yep.
I also have my big toe amputated. So it's
Yeah.
not just my left leg. So balance is hard for me nowadays. It really
Yeah.
is. Hi,
Yeah.
Joe. Mr. Amped. I was allowed in the day of the surgery, thankfully. They made a special section. You know what, Mr. Amped? The funny thing what for me is initially how I ended up losing my leg is through diabetic complications. But the way I ended up getting diabetes was really strange. I had a medical mishap. I had stones that fell into my pancreas and damaged my pancreas. So, as to where most people get diabetes from being overweight or it's an inherited thing. Hey, Cheesehead. Um, basically, you know, what happened to me was my husband and I weren't legally married at that time. So, I almost died. I was in a coma for like 2 months. And
Oh
they wouldn't let me in
wow.
the hospital either. Here I'd been living with this man for 7 years and had 3 children with him, but they wouldn't even let him in the ICU. They had to get my parents' permission, which is really strange.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, so I you know, I get that, Aunt Amy, and Mr. Amped Amy, but I can tell you this much. My trip in the hospital was during the pandemic when I lost mine too.
Mm.
They weren't letting anybody in the hospitals at all.
Yep. Yep.
I had National Guard standing at the other side of the hospital where I was at.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean the whole wing was sealed off from COVID. They weren't even
Yeah.
letting people come into the hospital itself. They were coming out in wheelchairs and taking people in. So that was pretty fucking serious.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm so grateful that in my situation they let him in because, you know, they were like, well, this is like a huge life altering thing, and you know, so we're gonna let him be here for her, thankfully.
Right.
And I was so excited to see him as soon as I got out of surgery.
You know, Holy Moly, it wasn't as awful as people think. I don't know how Amy feels, but like a lot of times people are like, Shannon, you are so strong. You are such a hero. But the truth is if this happened to anybody, you do the same fucking thing we do.
Yep.
The world doesn't stop moving because you lose a limb, right?
Yep.
Nobody really gives a shit at the end of the day but you. So you have two fucking choices, right? I mean, you could sit there and cry and bitch and say, oh, I've lost my leg, or you can get up off your ass and adapt. And that's
Yep.
what you do. Because you
Yep.
don't die, you know? You just don't die.
Exactly. Exactly.
But
Exactly.
yeah,
That's what's kept me positive throughout this whole thing is like, yeah, I'm missing a leg, but I'm still alive. Like I'm, you know, I'm my life's not over. It's just different.
yeah. Well, it's just that nobody who goes through an accident, if they're lost to anything, I mean, you just you don't get the luxury of laying down and die, even if you want to. Like, even if I wanted to go,
Right.
oh my God, I lost my leg. Oh my God, everybody's gonna look at me like a cripple. La, 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 la. You know, my husband had just
Mm-hmm.
died, my mother had just died.
Mm.
Uh, the truth of the matter is I was gonna still be alive no matter how I felt about it. So I just managed. That's what you do.
Yeah.
You just manage and you do your best. And there was many times where I was not strong. There was many times where I had broke down in ultimate pain. I had to have 3 corrective surgeries on it. I wasn't allowed to wear a prosthetic for almost a year and a half because of so many surgeries that I had.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rexy. So it was a difficult journey, indeed. I mean, I struggled a lot during that year. I could even so much as to say that my husband had died, and the next person that I went to date after that, well, not the very next person, the person after I lost my leg. I mean, I trauma bonded with him so hard because he was the first person to see me without my leg in a wheelchair at my worst, and he still liked me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you get really strange about, like, I'm a very confident person. I understand my self-worth as a human being, but
Mm-hmm.
as a human on this planet who knows that this planet is very visual, you know what I mean? That it's
Yeah.
very self-driven when it comes to people being beautiful or whatever else.
Yeah.
And missing a leg is something that's kind of strange to people. Little kids look at it. I'm the first one to
Yeah.
tell a little kid, here, come on, touch it. Come look at it. You know what I mean? But their parents get really upset. You know, it's
Yeah.
like, oh no, don't look at that girl. No, I'm not embarrassed of it. Let them come over, let them look at it. You know, curiosity is a thing. I was curious too.
Mm.
You know, it becomes a different lifestyle for people, you know,
It
and
does.
people
It
look at
does.
you different, they treat you different, you know.
I think especially as a woman, like not you know, I'm sure that, you know, Harley, you know, experiences, you know, looks from people or whatever, but you know, as women in society, you know, a lot of our worth is directly linked to our looks. Unfortunately. And so yeah, it can be especially rough as a woman, I feel. Um
Ah, well, I gave up on that shit long ago. Girl, you're still beautiful and pretty. I'm an old ass
oh,
broad
oh no.
nowadays. I developed my brain and went to college, so I didn't have to worry if all my shit fell apart on the outside later.
You are
I was
very
hoping
smart.
that whoever I fell in love with loved my fucking witty repertoire and my fucking ability to fucking make them laugh. So I didn't put too much on that. But yeah, I mean, for me, it's not so much that they think I look ugly. It's just that they see me as not capable. and from somebody who was an overachiever, who was beyond capable, who was the breadwinner in her family, who was the one who always took care of everything. That was a huge setback for me because now I'm the patient. Now people are taking care of me to some extent, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that acid trip, but I'm not actually in a wheelchair. And when I actually go out in public, I'm usually using my leg.
See, that was one of my questions for you. I was going to ask what kind of mobility aids do you use?
Okay, so I have a standard wheelchair that you can just get off of Amazon or something for like $150.
Right.
And I have one that is like a walker that you can put your knee on and then you can push. I also
Mm-hmm.
have a regular walker. I have Canadian crutches. But I can tell you what I use the most. What I use the most is my leg. I use my leg the most and my wheelchair. When I'm at home and I'm comfortable and I'm in and out of bed, I won't wear my leg because you know as well as I do, I mean, that long periods of time with the leg on causes irritation on the skin, all kinds of things. You have to be careful that you don't overwear it. So
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times at home, I'll use my wheelchair to flip back and forth. It's just the easiest thing for me than all the other ones.
That's what I do. I use my chair around the house.
Yeah, me too. I mean, even when I'm cooking most of the time. But if I'm out and I'm about and like I'm going to the doctor or I have to get in and out of cars or I have to sit in certain places, it's a lot easier for me to wear a leg because this society isn't really set up for handicapped people. It's just
No,
not.
it's not.
Really, they act like wheelchair access is everywhere, but let me tell you, people, these doors are closed, very small. I had to go to a pilot. I was on a trip and I had to go to a pilot and I went to the bathroom and the handicap bathroom was closed and I couldn't get my wheelchair in the regular bathroom. I had to get help that way. So it's just really not made for handicapped people. This world really isn't.
No, it isn't.
And it makes it difficult. So it's easier to wear the leg. I don't know about you. I don't know if you feel the same way or not.
Well, I'm still on, just for funding reasons, which we're working on currently. But I'm still on my first leg that they gave me straight out of the hospital. And like the liner has worn out in it and stuff. Like it's unwearable at this point. Like I don't fit in the socket correctly anymore. Like it's just unusable.
Damn, Amy. Yeah, you're supposed to get that first one changed out within a year because your bone changes.
Yeah. I've had it for 3 years now. So.
I'm on my fourth leg. I'm on my fourth one, and it's like 3.5 years now. And the first year and a half, I didn't have a leg at all because I had so much reconstructive surgery that you can't put the undersock on with it on. It'll pull the stitches right out. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
Yeah, I was in the hospital for about 6 months after my surgery. It was about, I don't know, maybe 4 months in, something like that, where my stitches finally came out and everything healed up and they would let me walk.
Right. No, I mean, they tried to get me up walking pretty soon, actually. But I wasn't doing it with a prosthetic. They were like trying to do physical therapy on the other leg because they were afraid that the other leg was going to lose muscle, being used.
Like atrophy. Yeah.
Right. So, and then I had to do physical therapy with the other leg so that when they cut it off, those tendons that they cut off, those muscles that they cut off, didn't atrophy also, because you guys don't realize that you can't get a prosthetic leg if your muscles stay frozen in one place. You won't be able to move your legs. So like you have to do all these exercises and shit. It's really weird.
Yeah.
You want to be my fifth leg, Jerry? Oh, Jerry.
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 So yeah, I was going to ask you about your background. You've told us a bit already. Are you comfortable saying your age?
Yeah, I'm 48. I'll be 49 this year in September. I'm 48. Okay. I'm a widow. I lost my husband 4 years ago. I live in Northern California, about an hour north of Sacramento in the hills. where they have eyes. So don't try to come to my place, all right? They'll make you squeal like a pig out here. Won't be me, but it'll be somebody. You know for a fact Amy is a man and she's using a voice changer? All right. I love me.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm totally a dude, guys.
That's right, Kane. You remembered my birthday. It's September 17th. That's correct. See, I have a couple people who pay attention.
So what was your experience medically? Like how long were you in the hospital for?
The initial amputation, and you got to remember that came with sepsis and all kinds of gangrene and stuff. So it wasn't
Right.
just an amputation. They were saving my life on other levels. So I think when I was amputated, I was in the hospital for about a month, maybe a little longer, 6 weeks, 6 weeks maybe.
Okay.
Oh, holy moly. My husband died in 2019, May 23rd, 2019. That's when he died. So the gangrene gang, the Crip gang, Jerry in the house. Yeah, you know what I love, Jerry, is when they say, "Oh, Shannon Stump smells rotten. She's got the gangrene." Bitch, if I had a rotten gangrene kid, I'd be dead right now. Okay, so
right, right, yeah, that doesn't work that way.
Don't quit your day jobs, guys.
I think you know about mine. I lost mine due to a clot. But like before they took it off, mine was rotting as well. So yeah, I guess I'm part of the gangrene gang too.
Well, what people don't understand is at first it goes septic and then it goes to gangrene. But I was being treated during pandemic time at a wound clinic, and they were saying it was good, it was good, it was good. But gangrene turns really fast, you guys. I mean, it's like 1 minute you're okay, and then 12 hours later you're running a fever, and it's over, man. It's over. So it wasn't like I was sitting there letting it rot off my foot. I was getting treated, but what most people don't realize is when you get a foot ulcer or any kind of ulcer, it's down deep in the skin. It's not on the surface. So it could look like a small little thing on the outside and totally be eating the inside of your flesh, completely eating it. So, I mean, when you go to a wound clinic or a doctor, I mean, they do run some x-rays, but, until the gangrene's actually in the bloodstream and actually in the bone marrow, they really can't tell. So they're still trying to treat it and save the foot and clean up the or clean up the side of the wound. It is blood poisoning. You're correct, Kane. You are correct.
Yep.
Stinker number one.
What about like phantom pains and sensations? Do you get a lot of that?
Oh, I have neuropathy horribly. Phantom pains, I mean, that's just par for the course. I haven't spoken with an amputee yet that doesn't have phantom pains at all.
Yeah. Some of them it can get better over time, and it gets less and less for some people.
Better.
Hey, gutters.
It's actually I can easily say that nighttime is the worst for me for phantom pain. Hey, Ikes.
Oh, Ike and Candy Wrapper. Good to see you guys.
So for me at nighttime, it's particularly bad. My neuropathy picks up in the winter as well. I think it's cold. You know what I mean? So at nighttime, it's really bad. So for those of you who wonder why I'm up all night, no, it's not meth. It's neuropathy pain. And unlike most people that are amputated, I don't take the medication that they want me to. I don't take things like gabapentin. I don't have tramadol. I'm one of those kind of hippy dippy people that, like, if it's for pain or pain treatment, I don't want to be on pills of any kind.
Yeah.
I take my insulin for my diabetes if I need it.
Right.
And other than that, that's pretty much all I do.
Yeah. I'm not too far off there. I don't take any like gabapentin or anything. As far as my nerve pain goes, I have medicinal cannabis, and that's what I use that for. That and my depression.
Jerry, and my teeth are real, honey. I was on diabetic medication for so long. I've had all my teeth pulled and replaced, darling. So that doesn't mean shit. Nah, that's why I don't give people problems about their teeth, man, because like you can brush the shit out of your teeth and have great hygiene. And if you're on medication for a long time, you start losing your teeth, man, from the inside out. But these aren't my real teeth, honey. But I'm glad you think they're beauteous.
They are. They're nice teeth.
No, Joe, I don't like pain pills at all. First of all, I'm sick most of the time. Second of all, I don't want to be a junkie. I have too much shit to do.
Yeah. I feel like my personality is far too addictive, and that would just be going down a very dangerous path. So yeah, I prefer my medicinal cannabis, and I do have it's actually a depression medication, but they also use it to treat nerve pain. It's called Indep, and they have me on that to help me sleep at night, and it works great. I just take 25 milligrams of that, and I'm good.
Right? That's the whole thing is like, I don't know. It's like I would rather go the natural route with weed too. To me, it does the job better anyways than the scripts anyhow.
Yeah.
Because look, the scripts don't really take the pain away, you guys. They don't. It just numbs it to where it's bearable. You know what I mean? It doesn't take it away. So you might as well be smoking weed and have a good buzz at the same time. You know? You might as well be laughing through the pain.
Yeah.
So,
definitely. And it also helps you sleep. So
I've got a whole drawer full of pain pills. I could probably be like a script junkie dealer if I wanted to. Never take them. They always give them to me, and like people come back and my kids pick up my prescriptions. Like, what the fuck are these? Oh, I got like Oxys and Roxys and Percocets and Dilaudid. I got all kinds of shit. Anybody who was into pills would love my house because I don't take any of that.
Wendy has a question here. What's the difference between Australia and USA medical follow-ups and costs in getting new legs?
I don't really know. I'm not in Australia.
Yeah, I can answer the Australian part. For me, everything is free. Basically, I haven't had to pay for anything as far as my treatment goes or the leg they gave me. And once I get set up with their National Disability Insurance Scheme, NDIS, they'll pay for my legs moving forward. So, yeah, I don't really have to pay for anything as far as that goes. What about you, Shannon?
Well, me was totally different. Okay, so in the United States here, there's two types of people, okay? So there's people that are on Medi-Cal or Medicaid, and most of their stuff is for free because it's like a government assistance program. Then there's people who make too much money and they have to pay for their own insurance. So when it came to my treatment, yes, I got fast treatment. Yes, I've had several legs, but I pay 20% of the total bill up until my deductible is paid. So for example, my leg cost me at most of $10,000, my first leg. But then I got my second leg after that, but I'd already reached my deductible for that year. So my second leg was free to some extent. So it all depends on what kind of insurance you have here. As far as follow-up goes, I think that's really dependent upon your actual injury and how much physical therapy you need. I had a couple of things that I was working on. Like, for example, I had physical therapy for quite some time, but I learned how to walk right away. But my physical therapy was more focused towards balancing than actual walking. So it depends. Each amputee has a different set of problems. Like where we're cut, it's not all the same. Like that's why each leg is independent. You can't like sell used legs. Like you were saying, her socket doesn't fit her anymore because it's all customized. That's why. Yeah. So it's not like you can sell it. It's not like a wheelchair where I can sell used equipment. You know what I mean? Once one's gone, I can sell it to somebody else. Doesn't work that way.
Yeah. No, unfortunately not. I have seen people get creative with them though. Some people turn them into like planters and put potted plants in
I
them and
was
stuff.
thinking, like, my friend Pinky's friends with a junk artist. I'm like, I wonder if I should send him one of my old legs, man. Maybe like he
Yeah.
can make something cool out of it.
Yeah, make one of those like leg lamps.
So, yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Wanda.
Aw, thanks, Saint H.
Aw.
See you are on your Shannon. Sweet scene. Hi, Breezy. Oh yeah, I don't go on camera that much anymore, you guys. But I mean, Amy asked me to do this interview, and I thought I was very honored to do this for you guys. Because I'm just a gigantic dork. So like the least I could do was turn on my camera so you guys could see my face and see that I'm being sincere or see what I'm joking. Because a lot of this I laugh off, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
A
Yeah,
lot
same.
of this is funny to me. I wasn't, unlike some people, I wasn't born handicapped, so it's different for me than some people that have like disabilities their whole life. I mean, hell, half the time I forget I'm missing a leg because I had my leg so long. I have ate shit so many times. I have fractured my hip. I have broken my wrist. I have done all kinds of shit to myself just because I forgot I don't have a leg and I didn't have my leg on. So, thanks, Jerry. So are you. Hello, Big PC. Sorry about that today. I didn't remember you as Mrs. T.
Kane here says, Shannon and Amy, are you right-handed or left-handed, and does that affect the lost leg? I'm right-handed, and no, that does not affect my leg at all.
I am left-handed, and if you mean by this sense, my left leg is gone. So my dominant side is left, and losing my left leg is, I don't know, more of a challenge because basically that was my dominant side, and you always have a dominant side. You know what I mean? But if you're asking me if there's any effect to my upper body from my lower body, no, I'm with Amy. That's completely different. That doesn't work at all, so like, I mean, but if you're asking if I had more strength when I had my leg, yes, I did. Absolutely. How do you know, Jerry? How many you've done the hokey pokey with? How many amputees have you done the hokey pokey with? I'm surprised there's not more of those questions, Amy.
That's
your sex life
such an ableist dance.
How does it affect your sex life? And can you do this? And can you do? I expected more of that.
Actually, when I was in the hospital, on Fridays, we would do like fun physical therapy. And my physical therapist decided it was a good idea to try to get a bunch of amputees to do the Macarena. So that was great.
1 little 2 little 3 Macarena. All I know is that no matter what has happened to any of us with our amputations, our life doesn't stop happening and it doesn't stop moving or shaking because something bad happens to you. And if there's any advice I can impart onto any of you that end up getting any kind of future disabilities, hell, even just be sick. The fact of the matter is you yourself determine what it is you can or cannot do. Sure, you may have to pull back on some things, and sure, you may not be able to do it the way you used to be able to do it. But if there's a will, there's a way. And everything that I did before, I can do now, just maybe a little bit slower. You know what I mean? Maybe exactly. A little bit more focused intention behind it. Maybe it's better with a little more help even. But the fact of the matter is I still can do almost everything I used to do, except for maybe run a marathon race. So, And if I wanted, I could buy one of those legs to do that too. Look at
Yeah.
Oscar Piscatero or whatever his name
Yeah,
was.
yeah, the running blades. I want to try it at least once. I want to give it a shot and see what it's like. Maybe I'll like it more with one fake leg because I used to hate running. But yeah.
Those are so expensive, though, Amy.
Oh
Have you
yeah.
looked at the prices of those?
Oh
Those
yeah.
are
Oh
like
yeah.
3 times the amount of a regular lake. Because there's a swimming
Yeah.
one too, where it's more like a fin. Because like
Mhm.
I love the ocean, so like I was like, maybe I should get a swimming one. Fuck no, it was like fucking 50 grand just for that damn thing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'd only wear it like once a year or something, you know?
Yeah. I mean, you could just get like a regular prosthetic that's just, it's safe to be in water. Um
Right. Well, that mine is now, but I wouldn't take a shower in it by any means or anything like that. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
It's not really made for swimming. I don't even know if I can swim, y'all. I used to be a really good swimmer, but I haven't gone swimming since I've lost my leg, so I don't even know
Oh,
if
I
I'm
bet you
able to do
you
it.
can. You can. I have. I've gone
Have
swimming
you? Can you
several
do it?
times. Yeah. Yeah, it's actually weird, dude. Like when I'm swimming like doing a doggy paddle, it kind of feels like the leg that I'm missing is up out of the water.
That's what I
Like,
thought. Like it would float to the
yeah.
top, right? More because there's no foot to anchor it down, right? So like you'd be
Well,
like,
yeah, but it also it just feels like in your brain that, oh, my leg is just up out of the water. Like, no, it's not. It's not there.
that's right, it's not there.
Yeah.
See, that's the whole thing is I still feel my leg all the time, like all the
Mhm.
time, like it's still there. It's
Yep.
weird. And I even went to. Did you ever do mirror therapy?
No, no, I've heard of it though.
Okay, so mirror therapy is something they do when you have neuropathy real bad. And well, actually, I guess it should be phantom pains because
Mhm.
basically you still feel your foot. So what
Yeah.
it is they put a mirror next to the other leg and then you do therapy and it supposedly it fools your brain because why does your brain even think there's a foot still there? Right? Like I get itches on my feet all the time. There's no foot there to itch. So
Mhm.
supposedly the concept behind it is to put a mirror next to the leg, and then it fools the brain that the leg is still there. So whenever it's itchy or hurting, you could
Yep.
scratch the leg that you do have, and it'll placate the feeling that you have in the other leg. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So,
Yeah.
but it didn't work for me. But I can't be hypnotized either. So
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just cynical,
I'm pretty skeptical of it, but I mean if it works for some people, that's good for them.
right? Yeah, because
Um,
like neuropathy pain and phantom pain sucks ass, dude. Nobody likes that.
Hi Tesh. The stream's title is called Stumped. It's a series that I've started. This is my second interview with an amputee, with a fellow amputee, talking about their specific journey and what they've gone through. So hopefully somebody else experiencing limb loss can resonate with their story and know that life's not over. Like Shannon said, it's just gonna be different.
It's not.
And it's
What
just
up, Tesh?
it's
Why
just
is it kind of
educational.
weird, Tesh? What are you weirded out about, Tesh? Is it because you're not up on the panel? It makes you feel weird.
I'm sure he'll be fine.
I'm not mean, Kane. I'm the nicest person you'll ever know, honestly. Sure, I might tell you to go fuck yourself once in a while because I'm not a doormat, but I take my shirt off my back to help any of you guys. And people who know me know that's true.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Granted, I haven't known you a super long time, but you seem to be a very genuine person, a very kind-hearted person. You put up with a lot of crap. You're way more patient than you should be, I think.
I don't know.
um,
People say I'm not patient. People say I am patient. I have my days. I'm just human like everybody else. You know, it's like people are like, "Where are you? Where are you?" And I'm like, "Dude, some days I don't feel like going on the internet and listening to people
yeah.
fucking talk shit to me. You know, sometimes I
Yeah.
don't. But for the most part, I love everybody, and I love my fellow man and human beings. And I realize we all make mistakes, and we all have shit in our lives that sometimes make us lash out. So I try to make accommodations for that. But there's certain people that just keep on doing the same shit over and fucking over and over again. And then you got to realize that that's that's them. I mean, that's how they are, and you just got to keep them away from you. You know what I mean? Until
Yep,
they figure it out.
absolutely. Well, I think you've either, through me asking or just inadvertently, you've answered all of my questions.
That's good. Does
If
anybody in the audience have questions, or
Yeah,
why don't
yeah,
you open up
I
the
want to open
channel
it up
to
for
let everybody
everybody.
ask? Yeah,
Yeah,
me and
yeah,
Amy are both here. If you guys got questions about our injuries, about our sex
absolutely.
lives, about our ables to adapt. I mean, did you do anything to your house after you got out? Like I have bars in my bathroom and along the stairs. I had to like do things to actually like make my life easier without the leg.
Thankfully, the place that we are currently renting, there's already like, I think this place was built for like an elderly couple,
Oh,
because like there's already like rails in the shower, that I can like grab onto if I need to, and I've got a shower bench in there. Um, the
yeah, I
the
don't have
only thing
rails
that
in
I
the
don't really
shower, but
like
I do have
about
a shower bench. I totally have a shower bench. So
Yeah, because it's too dangerous to try and stand up in there. Like it's just slippery and stuff, and yeah, not a good idea. But yeah, the only thing about my place that's not like ideal is like my doorways aren't exactly, they're wide enough for a wheelchair, but only just. So I'm constantly like bumping into doorways.
yeah.
But um, yeah, no, thankfully this place is pretty accommodating.
Oh, thanks, Sass.
Uh,
Good.
I My
Yeah.
sister wants
Well,
to
we
know if
did
you've
stuff. We
driven.
had to do stuff, so we had to put things. Who wants to? I'm sorry, I missed it. What'd you say?
I'm sister wants to know if either of us drive a car. So what about you?
I'm a sister. I'm amputated on my left leg, so yes, I can still drive a car. I still have my driver's license. However, I have problems with my eyes. So right now I'm not driving because I have bleeds behind my eyes and I have black spots. So it makes me nervous to drive. I don't want to get into an accident. Amy,
Mm.
however, is amputated on her right leg, so she may have a different story.
Yeah, I well, since I'm in Australia and the steering wheel's on the other side of the car, like I could if I wanted to, but like they might need to do some modifications or whatever to the car. But it's honestly it's not something I'm into. I've never liked driving. I much prefer to just use public transportation. It gets me where I need to go. That and my husband pushing me in my wheelchair. I get around. So
I fucking love driving. I love driving. Before this all happened, I definitely drove everywhere by myself. My husband didn't even drive. I went everywhere. I did everything. I paid the bills. I'm the ones who got the car maintenance. So, yeah, I love driving. I have a driver's license. I've had a driver's license since I was 16 years old. So, um, I'm only recently stopped driving, and that's because of my eyesight, which is an unrelated thing to my amputation. That's
hmm,
something to do with my other health conditions.
right.
How skinny are those doorways that your 2-inch dick knocked on the edge of?
Oh, the chat's popping off apparently.
Here, Wendy. I thought you were going to ask us a question about
Yeah,
doorways.
yeah. I thought that was going to be a serious question too.
I had a friend. He was a paraplegic and would drive with a stick. Yeah,
Oh
Jerry.
wow.
Like I said, it's not the function because it's my left leg that's missing. And as long as I'm driving an automatic, you don't use as long as it's not a manual transmission, it really doesn't matter to me. But I don't know, like it's my eyesight. It's not my amputation. It's my eyesight. It's something completely different. Haha,
Um,
Mel, you got a 20-foot dick? Do you pass out when you fucking stand up? Holy shit, don't get an erection. That must be terrible.
I'm sorry if I've missed something, Siegel, but I don't know what you're talking about there, bud. Joe wants to know: do we have feelings where our feet used to be?
Yes, those are
Uh,
called
yeah,
phantom pains, and we were talking about that earlier, Joe.
yeah.
There's a thing called mirror therapy, but yeah, it doesn't seem to ever go away. At least not in my experience. But I've only been amputated for since March of 2020, so almost 4 years now. What's the matter, Seagull Rock Squawk?
This person, informant,
Their
says
NGO
they're
ORs are foundations that take physically and developmentally handicapped people, children, and adults to various beaches around the country and surf, paddleboard, bodyboard, etc.
yeah, that's really cool.
I don't know. I'm not one of those like children that sign up for like things like that. I'm an adult, like I'm old informant. So like if I wanted to go do something, I would just go do something. Like I want to go on a cruise. I'm not going to inform any organizations to take me because I'm missing a limb. And just I don't know about that, but that's a really nice thing that they do for amputees, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's super cool. Because
But
yeah, like you
I
can't
call my ass
go on
pancakes because who doesn't love pancakes, Jerry?
but yeah, you can't go on like a beach with a regular like prosthetic like the one that I have that they gave me from the hospital because it's not a wet leg, and also the sand and everything would mess it up. Like,
Yeah, it
so yeah,
messes up the
you
joints.
can't.
It rusts
Yeah,
them out.
you can't just like go to the beach. So you have to have like a special beach wheelchair and stuff. So like stuff like that's really cool, especially for people that don't have the money to access the
Right.
mobility aids that they need and stuff.
Right. Exactly. I mean, that's a really cool thing to do. Well, listen, informant, I didn't mean anything disrespectful by that. It's just that I don't really indulge in a lot of the benefits that I could have being handicapped. I guess maybe because I wasn't handicapped for so much of my life, and I want those resources to be available to people who really can't afford those things. And I can afford my lifestyle. So, like, if I do want to go to the beach, then I will rent whatever equipment that I need and go out there and do that. I don't need to take from somebody who does not have enough money to do this themselves. So I tend not to look into any kind of those programs. I donate to some of them, so it's nice to know about that program. That's definitely something I'll have to look into and see if they take donations.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's really cool. I appreciate you coming in and telling us that, informant. Or informant, I guess.
Yeah, he's interesting. I'm waiting for him to
Oh,
bust
that's
down.
great, Holy. Holy says, I've seen them take an elderly man on the ocean with a special wheelchair. It was heartwarming.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, holy moly, I just want a big old Jason Momoa guy to throw me over his shoulder and take me out there like Aquaman. Okay, you guys get that hooked up? I'll go sign up. All right, nice big Jason Momoa Aquaman motherfucker, throw me over his shoulder. Let's go swimming, bitch. I'm down for that. That's what I want. Oh, okay, you're not a man. I'm sorry. Excuse me, ma'am, not man.
Hi, Tesh. While this is, I believe, was intended to be a silly question, I don't mind. I don't mind answering. It depends on the person, obviously, because there are different kinds of amputees. There are above knee, below knee. So it depends. For me and Shannon, we're both below knee. So anything that involves using a knee, we can still do.
Exactly.
I feel like it opens us up for different positions because I don't know about you, Shannon, but like if I'm in the kitchen, I'll sometimes stand up and I put my stump up on the counter so I'm like stable.
So I don't lose balance. Yeah, like it's like doing the splits or whatever. But
Yeah. So I feel like that opens up a new possible position that I don't feel a lot of two-leggers could do.
Exactly. You guys are always wanting to grab those legs and throw them behind our ears, but what if there's not one to grab? Then it's not even in the way to begin with, man.
Right?
Think about the deep possibilities.
Exactly. Sir. Exactly.
These foundations are equipped for just about everything and highly trained in water sports and all.
Wow. Yeah, that's really awesome.
I don't look into a lot of social programs like that on Informant. I'll have to check that out.
That's super cool.
I won't be signing up for it, but I like to donate to somebody that does that. Oh, thanks, Dozer. So are you, Shook.
Yeah, I was getting to that, Mel. My gosh.
That's a smart answer. By whom, Tesh? By Amy?
I mean, I think we're both pretty smart.
Oh no, I'm a total dumbass. Don't let me fool you.
Yeah,
I've
anytime
been here a
informant.
long time, Amy. You're new. There's no reason for me to be here anymore, okay? You're still like, young and like trying to make a. I'm dumb as fuck. Me still being here is absolutely ridiculous. It's the most ridiculous thing ever. I know better. I stinking know better. I know better. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm broken in the head. I'm telling y'all.
Nah.
Be a glutton for punishment. What can I say?
But yeah, I appreciate you coming in, informant. Yeah, that was really cool. Really cool to learn about that.
Yeah, informant. It's
Mel.
always nice to see you on friendly ground, my friends.
Mel wants to know if I've ever stumped anyone or if you've ever stumped anyone. I have virtually stumped bumped people, Harley and Shannon, which I call it's a stump bump, but picture a fist bump, but with stumps instead.
There you go. Actually, in reality, I've never met another amputee in person. Amy and Harley, I was really excited when Joe introduced me to Amy and Harley because really, I don't think she intentionally knew that that would help me so much open up about my particular afflictions, but also give me sounding boards and listening to them on their channels and the things that they talk about make me realize that, this is something that's common for all amputees to some extent. So I don't stump bump anybody, but I tell you what, if somebody in chat fucks with me, I would definitely shove my stump up their butt. You know what I mean, Mel? That's the way it
There
works,
you go, Mel.
right? At least in a metaphoric sense, right?
I think that was the answer he was looking for.
Oh yeah, you were in shanty camps all day. Yeah, well that's great, informant. I love shanty camp. She's cool.
Deb says a girlfriend of mine was born without an arm.
What do you
That
mean you're
laugh
gonna
can do
miss her?
anything as you two can. Go ladies. That's funny, Deb. I dated a guy in high school who was born with one arm. And after my surgery, I sent him a message on not on MySpace, on Facebook. And I was like, hey, you didn't tell me it was contagious. And he was like, what are you talking about? And I told him about losing my leg. And he was like, oh, wow.
I know, right? Oh, Furman, what do you mean Shanny's gone? What are you talking about? Like, I checked in real quick and LD was on panels, so I don't go anywhere where he's at. It's just, and I certainly am not going to shit on Shanny Camp's fucking channel. I'm not doing that to her ever. I love Shanny Camp. I'm not going to start a big old fucking squirrel over there. So, is she leaving? What do you mean?
I'm a sister says, Amped Amy, was y'all married before or after amputation? Me and my husband, we got married just before I came to Australia. And that was about a year before my surgery. So yeah, about a year into our marriage is when I was amputated.
Oh no.
Jerry.
That's too bad. Why, Joe? Oh, I'm sorry, Amy. I didn't mean to diminish your answer. I'm just kind of curious as to what happened. I don't know why she would do that. That's weird. I went to sleep informant. I was awake all night. This is the strangest life.
Yeah, no worries. Oh yeah, Siegel, he likes to put lyrics out there in the chat.
Def Leppard. I don't like Def Leppard. I'm a sister.
Yeah, I've never been a huge fan.
Well, you're younger than most of us in here. I mean, you're not definitely the youngest. You're not the youngest, Amy, but you're younger than most of us. Most of us are old farts.
Yeah, you're like my older sister's age, so we're not too far off.
Okay, we couldn't go to high school together. Put it to you that way. But,
No,
I mean, you're cool as fuck. I love you.
I love you too.
I just know that some of these these people are older. Like Def Leppard's like a thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never been quite into Def Leppard. It's never really been my thing. But I've never been into 80s hair bands. But there's some songs in every genre that I love, of course.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I'm the same way. I love all sorts of music, and I tend to genre hop recklessly. Like, I don't
As far
care.
as I'm concerned, Amy can invite whoever she wants on this panel.
Well, my answer to that was going to be no, Jerry, because this, I just wanted to be an interview for, like I said, other amputees and stuff. So I don't want it to be like bogged down with just, a regular old panel. But if anybody else would like to go live after this and have like an after party and hang out, I will totally come by and hang out there.
Good night, Getters. I'll throw up my stream.
Oh, yeah, that sounds great. All right. Actually, while you're here, I'm going to go ahead and put your channel in the chat.
Yeah, I'll throw up a stream for a little while. I don't know how long, but a little while. But I'm not going to be on cam the whole time, you guys. I did this for Amy because Amy honored me with having this interview, and I appreciated it. And like I said, I felt it would have been more meaningful if I were to turn on my camera and relate to you guys all as who I am. And I am an amputee. And I don't do this for attention, and neither does Amy. She's right. When you first find yourself amputated, you want to reach out to anyone and everyone to truly understand the impact of what your life's going to be. Are you ever going to be able to walk again? Are you going to be able to have a normal sex life? Or do people find it difficult to date? Do people find it difficult to cook, clean? All these things, I had questions in my head. Was I going to be dependent on my children? Was I going to be able to drive? Would this lead to more amputations? What was the implication of my lifespan? Do you know that most amputees only have a lifespan between 5 and 10 years, depending on the conditions? That's something I needed to know,
Yeah.
Because I have children. Yeah. So I had to plan for them, and I had to look at my retirement. Like I could have said, okay, in 10 years, I'm going to be dead. So I'm just going to spend all this money right now and go out with a bang and snort coke off of fucking hookers' butts or whatever I was going to do. But my first thought is I need to take care of my children when I'm gone. So, it's different for everybody. So when Amy does things like this, even though I don't find myself the focus of attention or anything very special, what she is doing is she's putting it out there in the universe. And someday there will be another Shannon and another Amy and another Harley that are looking for answers and are just beginning their journey in all this. And if there's anything that I can impart, any piece of wisdom, any bit of hoorah, smack you on the butt, you can do this, then I'm here for that. For real. I really am.
Yeah, and I appreciate it so much. I appreciate you being on cam. I appreciate you sharing your story and being as candid as you have been. I really do. I appreciate it. You say that you're honored that I asked you, and I'm honored that you're here. You may think you're a nobody, but I think you're a great person, and I'm very honored to have you share your story on my platform.
Thank you. I appreciate that. One other question Kane had for us. He wanted to know if we were angry. Were we angry? Are we angry now? Were we angry when we found out? Which part? Because I think I think at first everybody's a little angry. Or should I say frustrated?
Yeah. And
you
scared.
Feel like, yeah, you feel like the world has fucked you. You're like, why my leg? But I mean, you have to get over that real quick because it doesn't really matter.
Why not my leg?
Well, one of the eye openers for me, darling, was like I was in a room with somebody who was dying of cancer, and I listened to them come in and tell him that he had stage 4 cancer and he was probably not going to get out of the hospital, nor was he probably going to live throughout the week. Okay. And it just made me sit in reflection that even though I'm sitting here with a chopped off leg, I was going to make it out of the hospital eventually. So, God works in mysterious ways, and he hears all the conversations that we don't. He removes people from our lives that aren't meant to be there. He puts people in our lives that are. and you just have to be appreciative of what's around you, and you will succeed at anything that you do. Always remember that no matter what has happened to you or me or Amy or anybody else, that there's always somebody who's got it worse.
Yeah.
And you should always take the best of the situation and fucking fuck it in the face and make it work for you. Instead of feeling sorry
Yeah.
for yourself about it, because nobody at the end of the day gives a fuck about you but you. Never forget that, people. I mean, there will
Very
be
wise
people that
words.
care about you, but nobody's going to live your life but you. Hi, Harley.
Well, there's our stump buddy.
There's my stump twin.
Yeah, Harley and Shannon have the same amputation on same
Yes.
leg and everything.
We're exactly the same. I think we're even cut at the same place, like the same amount of. I think we have the same amount of leg
Wow.
under the knee. You got about like 6 inches under your knee, Harley, right above the calf muscle.
Wendy's got one more question for us.
Cool.
What kind, if any, of depression did you go through till you accepted the new legless outcome? For me, it was like pretty much right after surgery, I was good. Like, I was just so anxious beforehand because, like, I'd never had any kind of surgery before. And yeah, I was just freaking out about that, and I didn't want to die and all that. So, like, once it was all over with and I was in recovery, I was just like, all right, now I'm just going to focus on getting better and finding my new normal. And so, yeah, I guess I dealt with it before it even happened.
If you're asking me, Wendy baby, for me it was completely different. Like I said, I had no precursor that I was going to lose my leg, so I didn't know. I got really sick, and I woke up with it gone. So for me, there was no depression. Actually, it was actually pure shock. So at first, I wouldn't even look at my left leg, because then I'd have to accept the fact that it was gone, and I wasn't able to do that. I had just lost my husband. I had lost my mom in December. I was already going through some very, very deep things that I was trying to get my head around. So there was no depression. But
Mm.
what ended up happening with me is I went a different direction because I couldn't control what happened to my leg. I started trying to control everything around me that I could
Mm-hmm.
to help
Yeah.
me gain back some kind of control and make me feel not handicapped. So
Mm-hmm.
that in and of itself caused me to get spread too thin. And then there became a point where like I erupted, and then there was this really deep sense of loss after that.
Mm.
But it was more for losing my husband and my mom. It wasn't until I actually lost my toe about 6 months ago that I really got fucked in the head. And it took me
Mm.
a minute to get over it. It really did. Because for me, it wasn't that I lost another body part, it's that I had been told earlier in the year that basically my fate would be, that my cardiovascular system would shut down, and that would either cause one or two things. I would have a heart attack, or they would just keep on cutting pieces off of me because I don't have any circular system. And when you don't have a circulatory system working properly, you don't have white blood cells going to fix injuries. So you walk, you move, even a paper cut can make me lose my leg. So
Mm-hmm.
that was difficult. Like, that was difficult to fucking hear. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it was more of like, okay, I fought all this time. I've ate right. I've done what they told me. I went to the damn physical therapy. I did everything they told me to, and this is still my fate. So for a minute there, Wendy, I was sad and angry and frustrated all at once. And I didn't know how to deal with it. And I was incredibly alone. I mean, my children were there, but as a mother, you don't want to emote those things to your children. You want them to see you as strong. You don't want them to feel your pain, because you are in pain, and you don't want them to suffer like you are. You want them to be okay. So a lot of that was focused on here on the internet, on my streams and other panels. And it wasn't always clean. It was pretty messy on occasion, to be honest with you. Because real shit hurts. And it gets messy. And there's
Yeah.
no making up a fake fucking leg. Who would do that for clout? Holy crap. That's
Yeah.
really weird.
Seriously. Right? Seriously. Oh, there's somebody else happy about the 49ers.
Go Niners! And you know what? Those Lions, they were talking mad shit at the beginning of the game. Oh, I had this big lead. Hey, you guys didn't know the Niners were the comeback kings? They're always second half fucking players. Always. They always lead you into that false sense of security, so you rest on your laurels, and then they snap you back to reality.
Oh, Wanda asked if we knew any amps that have been amps for their entire life, or a lot of their life. And Harley answered that he has a friend who was in a fire when she was a toddler, and they had to take her right leg, and she's 38 now. Harley, if she would be interested in doing an interview, I would love to talk to her.
Yeah, that'd be super cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mindy. I appreciate it. You know, we're all adults and we all go through shit. Everybody's got a story to tell, so I don't want anybody to pity me because I've dealt with my shit and everybody does their stuff. Your name's Gotti? I didn't know your name was Gotti. I thought it was Bartholomew the Third. Everybody, that's not Gotti. His name is Bartholomew the Third. And if you want to say hello to him, you have to go like this. Because that's the only thing he's understands.
Oh, okay, well.
Oh, yeah, very good. See, Amy, you're so bright. He's a philologist from Uranus.
Well, I think that was the last of the questions. So we're just after the top of the hour here. I think that's a pretty good interview.
I appreciated it. You were fantastic, Amy. Thanks for having me. Everybody in chat, thanks for coming. Sorry you had to see my face. Love y'all. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye, Shannon. Oh, man. Yeah, thank you again so much. This was fantastic. And I really, truly do hope that this helps somebody. If you're out there and you're watching this and you're going through limb loss, just like Shannon told you before, I'm going to tell you again, your life's not over. It's just going to be different. You will find your new normal and you'll be okay. If anybody out there would like to talk to somebody who's been through it, or if you're interested in doing an interview with me, you can email me at ampedamy, spelled just like my channel, at gmail.com. And I want to thank everybody here in the chat for hanging out with me and asking the questions that they wanted answers to, questions that I never would have thought of. So yeah, and I appreciate everybody watching and supporting the channel. You guys are fantastic. And yeah, until next time, I'll catch you later, guys. Bye.